Hey everyone, Angelo here. Welcome to another design tutorial. Today we're going to be focusing on magazine design. I'm going to show you how to add drop caps to your body text, how to edit and format the drop cap. I'm also going to show you how to add proper indents to your body text. And finally, I'm going to show you how to add a vector texture or a pattern within your typography. So let's get started. As you can see here, I just set up a A4 facing pages magazine spread, and as you can see, I do have my body text set here, but if you notice, there's no formatting involved to this point. There's no paragraph, well, there are paragraph breaks, but there are no proper indents. I'm going to show you how to put in a drop cap as well. Okay, I'm not going to be so much concerned with the overset text for now. Basically, I just want to show you how to set up these two features in InDesign. So the first thing I want to do, or the first thing we should do, is go up to Type and Paragraph. You want to make sure that this panel is open when you're working. I've already have mine here that's open. And there's a couple fields here, a couple settings that we're going to focus on when we're doing both of these tools. Okay, so first thing I want to do is put my cursor anywhere in my copy and just do Command or Control A to select all. Right now I have my body text justified. You can, it doesn't matter, you can make it line left, ragged right, that will work as well. But I'll just leave it justified for now. So let's do that. And I'm going to go to my paragraph panel. Excuse me. And I do want to make my way to the second field from the left, which is called the first line indent. And with my up arrow key, I'm going to click that until I get to 0.125. Now you can set your indents to whatever you want. 0.125 is comfortable, but obviously if you keep going, the indents will increase. So I'll leave mine at 0.125. Okay, so there you go. My indents are set. Now if that was it, I could save this as a paragraph style. So if I was importing text again, let's say you're getting another story or some body copy that you want to feature in a magazine, you import it. And if it comes unformatted, simply save that paragraph indents that we've created as a paragraph style. Click it, and you wouldn't have to do that again. So now I want to put in a drop cap. I'm going to make my way back up to the first paragraph and put my cursor at the very beginning. I'm going to zoom in here, and I want to take the indents back down to 0 just on the first paragraph. Okay. Why? Because I want to put in a drop cap. We don't want an indent with a drop cap. So I have my cursor. You can highlight it or just leave your cursor there. And there's two ways of accessing a drop cap. It's up here in the control panel, right there, drop cap number of lines, or it's in your paragraph panel as well, right here. Okay, so right there or up here. It's up to you where you want to access it. It doesn't really matter. It's all based on preference. So I'm going to increase the number of lines, and you'll see that the W in my paragraph here now becomes a drop cap. So it is taking up 2 lines. You can increase it to 3, 4. You can increase it to as much as you want. Just be mindful that, as you can see, the more I'm increasing this, it's eating up into this column. So if you're working in narrow columns and you start increasing this drop cap, you're going to start getting weird breaks in words like you see here, okay? So just be mindful of that. For this case, I'm just going to leave it at 3. Of course, drop caps traditionally is the first letter form of your paragraph, but if you wanted to, you could make a drop cap 2 characters. I'm going to leave it at 1. That feature or that setting is right next to it, so I can make it 3 lines and then the number of characters. So I'm going to leave it at 1. So there you go. That's how you do a drop cap. And if I wanted to edit this, I could just highlight the W, and right now it's set at Playfair Display. Let's just say I wanted to make it Futura black. Now if you notice here, here's another good example. Sometimes depending on, let me change the color of this as well. If I go to my swatches, I do have this Pantone color that I've set, which is the same color as my headline. That's a good thing to do as well in magazine design. Make the drop cap the same color as maybe the headline or something else that you're featuring. I want to open up the kerning here because the W is way too close to the I in this case. Put your cursor between the W and the I, hold down Option or Alt, and use your right arrow key just to open that up ever so slightly. Okay, so that's how you would do a drop cap and set proper indents. Okay, now you could save all of this as a paragraph style. You could save the drop cap as a character style. Okay, so that would be it. That's how you do a drop cap. The other thing I did want to show you is I'm going to move down to my second page here. When you're working in magazines, you have a little bit more creativity in terms of what you can do with type. Okay, so I do want to show you one thing. Let me put my guides on here. I'm not going to use the number 5 in this case, so let's just do this. I'm going to grab my type tool, draw out a box, and in this case you can use any character you want. I just want to use an exclamation point, and I'm going to make it white. I'm just going to knock up the size of that. The way I'm knocking up the size or increasing the size, Shift Option Command greater than, does it in increments of 10 there. Okay, now I do want to also make this Futura black, so you get something like that. Okay, now watch this. If I go up here and I do align horizontal, let's do this to page. I want this aligned centrally and vertically on my page. Now, right now it's just a regular font format, which I can go in and edit. You can do that with any font, but I want to create this into outlines where now I can make it a shape. I can add a texture to it. I can add a photo to it as well. So let's do this. I'm going to click on it with my selection tool, go up to Type, and select Create Outlines. A shortcut for that is Shift Command O. Much like you would in Illustrator to create outlines, same thing. So let's do that. Type, Create Outlines. Now, as you can see, it is a shape, and I can't go in here and edit this anymore. So if you're going to do this to any type, make sure that you have all your kerning, your tracking, everything format-wise done before you do that step, because you can't revert. Well, you can, I guess you could do Control-Z to revert back, but you want to make sure that that's all done beforehand. Now that this is a shape, I guess it's not really editable text, I can go in and go to File, Place, and I have an EPS vector abstract file here, abstract texture or shape pattern. I'm going to click that and just import that right in. Now it's really big. To quickly scale it down or make it fit my exclamation point, Shift Option Command C. Okay, so this is now not editable text. I can go in and maneuver the photo or the texture any way I would want. But also the cool thing about this is I'm just going to move this up. I'm going to go up here, grab my, just copy this text, and I'm going to place it. I do want to make it white so we can see what we're doing here. Okay, so here's the cool thing about magazine design. Prior to making this into an outline, you can't add text wraps to type. Now that I've created it into uneditable text and created an outline out of it, I can click on it, go to my text wrap options either here, or if you go to Window, text wrap, it'll show up in your side panels. And I do want to create a wraparound object shape, and then this field here, I can just increase the wrap, and we could even do something like this, where if you wanted to make this within the copy, maybe move it down, or select both and change this to selection and make sure it's center and something like that. Okay, so you can get really creative. Another good way of using this is if you're doing magazines, often have something like 5 things to do, or 5 ways, or 10 ways. Turn your 10 or 5 or whatever number into an outline mode, and then you can wrap it into text and put cool patterns or shapes or textures in it. Okay. One last thing, if you didn't want to do that, you can also, maybe rotate it and have it bleed off the page type thing, something like that. Just giving you other options on how to create type and text into shapes, where you can play around with text wraps and then add texture to it. Okay? Quick little tutorial on how to enhance your typography and get a little bit more creative when you're designing magazines. Okay? Hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.